Right, you know how they have they say for people who are like looking to get fit, or they've got some dieting program, or they try to get fit or whatever, right? And what they say is that if you do it as a group, or you have a friend and you say to the friend, look, let's try and build each other up, let's be a support for each other, so that we're more likely to stick to the regime if we hold each other to task and encourage each other and all that kind of thing, in order to keep the thing going, so that because a lot of people tend to give up training programs, don't they, because there's no accountability, that kind of thing. Well, what this is essentially, I'm speaking to nobody because I'm just doing it for myself. It's just like Dear Diary, vlogging, whatever, right? So what I'm basically doing with these live things, I'm sort of figuring out, I'm essentially holding myself to task. I'm sort of, it's like a wee support group. Dave, thanks for joining me. No problem, Dave. How's the training going? Are you doing? And the fact that I've got this in this imaginary audience sort of watching live every time I do this. I'm going to cut it down because it's starting to get a bit boring. Oversaturation of the market. So if I do it like once a week or something, then that'd be quite good, wouldn't it? Because even these vloggers that actually have a following, they wouldn't do it every day, because that would just fucking irritate people. I've already fucking irritated people, so I'll just do it once a week. That's probably enough, isn't it? So basically what I'm doing at McDonald's International Airport again, I'm having a little meeting with myself to say, Dave, how's it going? How's the training going? How are you doing? Are you keeping up with the schedule? Are you doing what you set out to do? And no surprise, because why would I be going live unless I wasn't doing what I set out to do? Yes, indeed we are doing what we set out to do. We're now in this is sort of like week 3 of the training program, and like I said before, we've got 3 months to do it, because the first gravel event's in May. So I've got 3 months. 3 months, that's quite a long time. But as I was saying to my brother, 3 months is 12 weeks. See, when you say 12 weeks doesn't sound as long as 3 months, does it? Three months for some reason sounds longer than 12 weeks. But essentially that's what we've got. We've got 12 weeks to get fit for the first event. I was watching a video on YouTube this morning. It popped up in the suggestions, and for once the actual title caught my eye. I thought, let's have a look at this, let's see if this has actually got anything good to say. And the title of and this will be a nice epigraph to this little discussion that we're going to have today on this wet and windy day in the midst of Storm Ezra, or whatever she's called, right? The video that popped up, the title of the video was quite eye-catching. Title of the video was, and let's break this down, and hopefully that will open a nice little discussion in terms of what I'm trying to do, right? Incidentally, before I do that, I was just thinking to myself there, right? Isn't it quite crazy how I've just sort of accepted that this is the way it is, and this is not a bad thing to do. It's not a bad thing to do, right? What I basically accepted was, I go through phases with my YouTube, upload stuff, and I go, hey, let's upload some stuff, why not? And then what I basically do is, the videos that I upload on my Facebook, I upload to my YouTube, and I put a title in, and I hope that, and I tag it, cycling, everything. It rarely gets any views, you know. But the great Michelangelo Beto said, get in the game. So how are you going to be in the game if you don't upload your content? You get to the point where you sort of feels like a battle. You sort of feel like I'm sort of being it's sort of like being humiliated every time I upload a video because it gets like 2 views or 4 views. Occasionally it'll get views, you know, and I don't like to promote them. I don't like to say, please Strava people, please watch this, share it, whatever. I don't do that. I like to be under the radar. I'm firmly of the belief that if the thing's got quality, then people will watch it. But that belief has been shaken because I've got cycling subscribers on my YouTube channel and they rarely watch the fucking shit. And it's like, oh, you fucking subscribe to the fucking content. You're the fucking idiot that subscribed. You know, maybe the algorithm, maybe it doesn't even pop up in their news feed. Occasionally you see things getting viewed, but you kind of think, you fucking subscribed to my cycling content. It's the same person making it. You know, okay, it might not be, they might be, so this is the thing, some of them subscribed on the back of a video I did, like I said before, lockdown, and some folk were saying, oh, genius, you know, because it's just like, you know, that's what happens, and it's like songwriters and everything, right? You make a video, it's not going to be brilliant the whole time. Most of the stuff you do is kind of shit, and then occasionally it just comes from the heavens, the inspiration is there, and then it just makes itself, you know. But we can't have a kind of, as Michael Jackson said when he wrote Billie Jean, it just fucking came to him. We can't have those moments every time, can we? So that's kind of what it's like. It's the subscribers, it's sort of like, unless it's genius quality, they didn't watch it. So that's where we're at. I mean, I'm sorry I didn't have my fucking GoPro on every time and I just talked to the camera. I didn't make much of an effort, but sometimes I think, is the quality of the words not good enough? Is the quality of the words no interesting? Have you not got a fucking attention span? Somebody with a brain, a human being, speaking words in English language? No, you're not even curious to sit down and watch this? I mean, I'm giving of myself. I'm fucking giving of myself. It takes energy to fucking speak. Or the words I'm speaking, is it like, I'm talking of fucking English, different fucking language here, you fuckers. Watch, if, you know, if someone popped up in my newsfeed that was a bit different, right? That was like some guy prattling on about training, right? I'd be interested to watch it because it's a nice, as I've said before, it's a nice antidote to the formulaic kind of arguably advertising friendly content that you get, and I'm just talking. I mean, it's no like a 3-hour Joe Rogan podcast, it's only like half an hour, 20 minutes. It's like, and then the more I talk, I get better at it, don't I? Because the vistas just open up, don't they? And then the wee things, the wee bits of inspiration, the wee kind of, you know, magic moments gonna happen, don't they? But if you didn't have the fucking patience or the curiosity to sit through it, then you're not gonna get anything out of it. I mean, I do the whole, bit of a digression, isn't it? But I do the whole fucking, you know, fast cuts, blah, 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 boom, 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 editing and stuff, and then that's not even good enough for them. It's like, what the fuck do you want? As I say, it's kind of like, it almost seems to be like, unless it's fucking genius level every time, didn't bother. But you're looking at the other content around and you're going, well, that's very far from genius, and folk watch that shit. So, but it's no like it is what it is. It's just it's the way I want to do things. I go through phases. I go, I'll just blab on and then just bang it up, just for a laugh, and maybe somebody will sit through it. But then when you put these things up, you get like average view, or you get the view duration is like 10 seconds or something. It's like they haven't even. You know, because who am I? You know, appeal to authority. It's like I'm just some nobody, you see. I'm not connected, am I? I'm not part of the scene, you see. I'm not really I'm part of the scene, but I'm not. So people would be likely to just go, why am I going to listen to this fucking idiot? Who is this idiot? Who is this person who speaks to me as though I needed his advice, you know? But I'm not giving anybody advice, I'm just fucking talking. Anyway, back to the point that I was saying, right, so I watched this video. Well, before I get into that, how's the training going, Dave? Quite well. We're doing what we set out to do. So this is week three. We've got another 3 months to go, right? I've actually got 3.5 months. That's pretty cool, isn't it? That takes the pressure off, doesn't it? See, when you say 3.5, that takes the pressure off. So that'll tie into the discussion with the video I watched, because the video was talking about, you know, ease your way into it. You know, you've got plenty of time, kind of thing. Enjoy it. You know, build into it. But anyway, the video. No, before I talk about that, so it's week 3. So we've steadily bumped the mileage up, and the end of this week, it doesn't sound a lot, does it? But compared to what I've been doing, we're now up to 180. We'll be 180 miles for this week, and it's fucking felt like it, because of, you know, the old January blues and the kind of weather and everything like that. It's not been very easy bit of a struggle, you know. But we've done it. So there you go, boom, psh, we've done it. 180. Well, no, quite. I've still got to go out tomorrow. Got a 70 miler to do tomorrow, so then we will have reached 180 mile. Last week was 150, so we've gradually bumped it up to 180 mile, which is what I set out to do. That's good. Then next week we'll bump up to 200 plus, and so back in the previous one, I was talking about how this year I'm going to be employing a slightly different approach. And as I was saying to my brother, we had a little discussion about it as well, and I was saying that I was starting to feel a bit jaded. You know, I was starting to feel like, yeah, maybe I should be giving this shit up, training hard. I'm getting a bit too old for this, and I mean, right? But then I was like going, you know what? If I employ, why have I wait? I don't want to sabotage all the efforts I've been making for the past 6 years. I've been basically training like an absolute demon, and I'm going, well, this is the year, this is the culmination of all that shit, because the gravel racing is affording the older man, shall we say, the ability to race within his age category, so that gives you an opportunity. What is that opportunity? You know? So what I was saying to my brother was, we're going to stop fucking about, and we're going to actually train sort of more structured in a way. More structured, and we're going to do it, and that's going to, you know, give us the motivation to train, because we're doing it, if we're honest, we're doing the training a little bit wrong. We're going too hard too often, as I said before. And so now what we're doing is we're employing a more professional approach. Basically what I'm saying is, right, you've got 3.5 months to get to almost pro, why not, sort of pro level. We're basically training like a pro, and that ties into this video I saw this morning. The title of the video was how to get to pro level, or how to train, whatever it was, 4 weeks to get fit as fuck, basically, whatever the title of the video was. 4 weeks to get fit. And one of these professional coaches who had trained a previous Tour de France winner, he was saying, this is how, if you want to get fit quickly in 4 weeks, this is how you do it. We're not going to do it exactly like that, because I believe that that's a bit crazy. You can't really, it's kind of like those things, in it, where you see, like, learn to play the guitar in 5 days or whatever it is, right? We're not going to do that. That's a bit naive, but we're certainly going to take, there are some takeaways from the video, right? So he was basically saying 4 weeks to get fit, and it confirmed a lot of things I already knew, but it was interesting. So let's go into what the coach was saying. Obviously, you build up the duration and intensity over the 4 weeks, but he had the training thing on a 7-day cycle. In O'Brien's book, he talks about, well, it doesn't really quite work like that. The training cycle, you know, you come back around to what you did on day one. He said it's more like 9-10 days because of the recovery needed, you know, between all your different sessions. But this one was he was sticking to a 7-day cycle. So let's just go with that, right? What he was talking about was day one would be your Monday, day one of week one, you know, easy ride. And he talked about it as an activation ride. So what you would do is little sort of 30 second, 15, I forget what it was, 30 second sort of sprints, and they weren't to train train you to a higher level. It's just to get the blood moving and activate the muscles to get you moving for the exercise, right? So day one is kind of like a low level, 1.5 hour. Then Tuesday would be you would do a threshold, and this is one of the what's the word? This is really the main. This is the main thing of training, is overload. You got to incorporate this. So this is what I'm saying about it tying into what I already know. 1 or 2 overload sessions per week. So Tuesday would be, and he started off with a low revs, high resistance, 5 minute, 4 by 5 reps or whatever, and then he would go, and then after you've done that, rest, and then you do a threshold, which is working at your limit sort of thing, and then the Wednesday would be easy, and then Thursday would be day off, and then Friday you come to overload session number 2. So you got 2 overload sessions in the week, and the Friday one would be slightly different, and I can't say the specifics, but it's slightly different. Maybe it'd be like something like 10 minutes threshold, rest, and then a 20-minute, and then you come to the weekend and do your long rides at the weekend at a low level, and then when you come back to Monday on week 2, you start to see that the overload sessions become progressively, gradually a little bit more difficult. One of the things that I found interesting was the way that he talked about making the threshold sessions more difficult as you get stronger. He was talking about when you do your 10-minute threshold things, right? Within the 10 minutes, you'd break them up into sections. So you'd do the first 3 minutes would be quite hard, but then if you imagine like a bar chart, so you got 4 bars, 3 minutes, and then the next bar up would be a little 2-minute spike. So what that's training, so you basically spike the effort higher than the first 3 minutes, and then you'd come back down and do a slightly less intensity for the 3 minutes, and then the final one bump it up again. So the 10 minutes are not, there is a up and down of your effort within that, and you're still pushing it hard for the full 10 minutes. So that speaks to the increasing fitness and strength that you get as you get fitter. And that speaks to what Bradley Wiggins was talking about. At the time when Bradley Wiggins was training, right, it's kind of crazy thinking it this way. His approach was seen as a bit cutting edge at the time, but again, this just, things move on, and it's now kind of standard, where he was talking about you ride hard and then you do intervals, basically just like weight training intervals, where you're going higher than what you're capable of. But rather than just freewheeling and resting, when you've done your effort, you come back and you still keep the pressure on. That speaks to what the other video was talking about that I saw. I was talking about to build endurance. It's talking about constant pressure, none of this freewheeling bullshit. If you want to be fit and you want to do the endurance thing, constant pressure. I mean, if you're running a marathon, you're not freewheeling, are you? And the tendency is for cyclists to, there's no one looking, is there? When you're out doing it, there's no coach beside you, and the tendency is to get a bit lazy and just like freewheel and take it easy here and there. But that's a skill in of itself, to develop the constant pressure approach, where you're pushing it hard the whole way, So things like that, and then it obviously increases. And then when you get to week 4, you're doing Monday, instead of doing like 4 by 5 4-minute hard intervals, you'd be doing higher than threshold efforts. So basically 30, mixing up, it's called up and under, is it? Up and over, something like that. 30 second intervals and minute intervals, so the much shorter duration but much higher intensity, higher than your FTP, functional threshold power, higher than that. So again, it's so building the intensity and the duration for the 4 weeks, and they basically say, look, you're going to be fucking tired and by the end of it, but it's going to build a lot of strength and fitness. And so one of the takeaways that I got from the video was, in terms of what I've been doing, is it confirmed what I knew the approach should be, but it just got me thinking about a few new things. But one of the big takeaways I got from it is you do 2 hard sessions in the week, but those 2 hard sessions you're doing for one of this hard sessions you're doing 2 threshold efforts. You're doing one that is like what another person was saying about, you do 2 hard interval sessions in the one day, because then the day after you give yourself time to recover. If you do too many of them during the week, you're going to be tired, so you do it on the same day, you mix it up, so within the same session, so you do like a strength and then 10 minutes recovery, and then do your above threshold. So that got me thinking, and I took a few notes, and I thought, right, let's do that. So what we did in the previous video was talking about, I was building myself up to do a really hard session on the turbo trainer, right? And we didn't do it. We took a day off and we did it the next day, because then that speaks to, again, the whole flexibility thing. You got to have flexibility in the training program. You can't just be stick to you know, what's the word? You can't stick to you know, you got to have flexibility. You got to, if you're not feeling like you can do it, then take a day off and do it the next day, you know. So you know, I was looking at the video and I thought it's very, very structured, which is different to the way I've been doing it normally. It's very structured. The way I would do it is just, I would do my turbo sessions and I'd do my road stuff, but I wouldn't be that structured about it. What I think I'll do is I will be more structured, but I'm not going to be so structured like that, because I think that's a bit too, that's unnecessary, you know, following what this guy's saying. I mean, one of the things I think I won't subscribe to is that you've got to do every session exactly the way he's doing it. You just got to take general, you get it impressionistically, what's this guy saying, and then incorporate that generally into what works for me. So what I'll be doing is I'll be doing more structured training, but we'll just be varying it, you know, general things that I take out of the video. We're going to do more structured, but we're going to vary it. We're going to vary the type of overload we do, but generally speaking we'll be doing 2 in a week. But again, I'm not going to be doing 2 in a week, you know. I'm not going to do 2 in a week if I'm not feeling like it. I'll just do 1. You got to go with how you feel, and that's what he was saying as well, which is just common sense, you know. If you're tired, it's counterproductive going for a big full effort. You either drop the intensity of the exercise, or you just give yourself a day off, and skip a session. There's no harm in that, because the whole point of training, the basic main principle behind training is the adaptation or overcompensation principle. It's all just to do with, it's quite a simple thing really, isn't it? You stress the muscle and give it time to recover, so that it builds strength and you come back stronger. It's quite a simple principle, but within that there's obviously variation in how you can go about it. But I thought the video was very illuminating. It got me thinking about things, and of course I watched it this morning on a Saturday, tired, didn't have much sleep last night, and I'm watching this thing. I got fucking tired just watching the video, because it's quite an intense structured training program, and it got me kind of a little bit scared. I'm going, fucking hell, look at what's ahead of me, look at all the pain that's ahead of me. But when I thought about it, I thought, you know, I'm quite up for this. It's a new approach. It's a slightly new approach, and one of the good things about this approach that I was already going to be doing anyway before I watched the video, but one of the things that is good about the approach is that the 2 long bike rides at the weekend, I would previously go hard, but it's basically this new way of doing it is basically stress yourself during the week in your overload sessions, but on the weekend give yourself time to enjoy the ride and just get out and do the miles, but don't be pushing it and don't be looking at times and average speeds and all that bullshit. Obviously, as you get stronger, what you'd want to do in your long rides is incorporate intervals into the longer rides. As you feel stronger, you feel like you're able to incorporate a bit more. It just comes. I noticed that before when I was training well in lockdown. I could feel the strength. I could feel like I'm doing these long rides and I've got so much energy that I can just incorporate some high intent, mix it up. But yeah, I'd do that anyway. It's no, when you're fit, you fucking sprint up the hills because you feel good, you know. And one of the things this guy was saying in the video, this coach, he was saying, well, this is what it's all about. You want to feel good. You want to start seeing the fucking benefits of it. That's going to give you the motivation. You're gonna stick to this program. You've got to be patient, but you're going to stick to it if you're going to start feeling the results and seeing the results, and that's going to push you on, and that's going to make you want to suffer and push it and go through the pain involved in training. Everything's relative, and I discovered this in a recent workout I did where I put it on a ridiculous, just an ascending gear in this big gear, and once you got to 7th gear you were like, fucking hell, I can only turn this for 2 minutes. I've actually managed 2 minutes 10 seconds, which was 10 seconds more than I'd done before Christmas time, and in January that's no bad, but that's a very small improvement, but an improvement's still an improvement. But yeah, one of the things, as I say, everything's relative. So when I did that was tough. That was a tough one. I pushed it really quite hard, but again, everything's relative. Every overload session doesn't have to be like that. You can that told me, fucking hell, that's doesn't need to be like that every time. There's hard and there's hard. You know what I mean? There's hard and there's hard. There's killing yourself where it really hurts, and then there's also, you can still do intervals that are, you know, comfortable discomfort. You feel like you can feel that you're putting the work in, but you're not like killing yourself to the point of failure, you know, where you can't turn the pedal. So there you go. I'm basically sitting in McDonald's car park. That's that. Today we just went out, we did 42 mile, and in this fucking weather it was windy and rainy, and we went out and we did it, so that was quite good. Stuck to the plan. I was like, fuck this, I'm doing this anyway. A lot of people were indoors today, you saw on the Strava, because of the weather, but I was like, you know, in O'Bree's book, O'Bree talks about this, right? He was talking about when he was building himself up for the hour record. And one of the things he said, he was trying to attack Francesco Moser's hour record on the track, right? And what he said was, he goes, he would look at all like difficult conditions and everything, right? He would look at that as a kind of, almost like a kind of CBT thing, you know, like a test. He would say, right, would Francesco Moser push out when the weather descends on me and it's getting cold and wet? And he'd be like, no, if I want to fucking do this record, I better man up. You know, seeing it as a test. I was kind of like that this morning. I saw the wet and the wind, and I thought, you know what, this is a test. I didn't really feel like going out in this weather, because I sort of was saying to my brother as well, like the days of going out in this kind of shitty weather are over. But I kind of thought, you know what, nah, this is a test. Everyone else is going to be on the indoor thing, so why not use it as a, fucking man up, toughen up. And as I said before, that that sets the intention, doesn't it? When it's difficult, we're not going to shy away from difficult conditions. So I mean, there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothes. So I was well wrapped up, and I was actually overly wrapped up. So I wasn't cold, and it was absolutely fine. So we went out and we did that, and it's a bit of wet is fine. It was very windy, so the 40 miles felt like more like 70 miles, really, to be honest. But it felt good having done it. So there you go. And what are we doing tomorrow? We're doing 70 mile, and the weather's got to be worse tomorrow. The weather's, I believe it's going to be heavy rain, and we're going to have loads of wind. So that 70 miles is going to feel more like a ton ride. It's going to feel more like 100 mile. But as I say, this is what you wanted to do, Dave. You wanted to train. You said no fucking about. You said we're gonna fucking train properly. So now is the test. Tomorrow, Sunday, what else am I gonna do? So I'll get up, have my fucking porridge, put the fucking clothes on, and just fucking get out there and fucking do it, you know, and try and enjoy it. As Mike Tyson said, enjoy it all, do it all, even if it's shit. I'll put a nice big long music playlist on, and then we might actually enjoy it, you know, dare I say, you know. So we're not going to push it hard. We're just getting the mileage in, because we are a bit tired from the working week as well. And we did a hard session about 3 nights ago, and we're still sort of recovering from that. So self-control. Look at this. I'm doing what I set out to do. Self-control. The long ride yesterday and the longer ride tomorrow. We're doing it, and then I can go, right, Dave, be proud of yourself. 3 weeks. I've kept to the mileage targets. We're doing this shit, and then during the week, next week, we're into week 4, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the more structured training, as I say, which will be slightly informed by that video I saw the other day. I thought it did kind of lift me to a different level when I saw that video. I thought here's a professional coach giving you it was very detailed, right? But we're not going to follow it to the letter, but we're going to definitely follow the spirit of what he was saying, you know. We're going to do some hard training. Normally, I think what you do is you have 3 weeks where you build it up, and then 4th week is the fallow week where you rein it in and recover to then absorb all the adaptations, everything, and so you can then go to the next level. But this guy was talking about 4 weeks, increasing it, and the 5th week is the fallow week. So we'll see how we do it. We will play it by ear, so to speak. If we're feeling tired, we won't be. I think I'm quite excited, because we have got that mindset of training, and it's all. See, when you look at the training like a pro, basically training like a pro, like no fucking about. But as hard as the training is, right? You go, the amount of time you're doing it isn't that much. I mean, most of the training's about, you get fitter by recovery, not by training. Most of the time is spent recovering. You know, so in this training program the guy was talking about is talking about, like, it's only about like 11 hours, 12 hours, 13 hours a week. It's not really a lot of time when you think about it. When you think about all the bullshit that you do, all the time that you waste doing bullshit during the week anyway. Oh, he's close. You know, you think about the amount of wasted time you have in a week. I bet like most folk, 12 hours probably waste time doing bullshit. Waste time arguing with the girlfriend, the wife, the ex. Not the ex, but, you know, waste time watching Netflix too much. You know, waste time just doing bullshit. So 12 hours is fuck all, really, to be honest, isn't it? So there you go. That, can't even think of anything anything else interesting to say. Even though all of that wasn't interesting, it was very boring. to someone not interested in the topic, but basically just now we're sitting in McDonald's car park with that nice warm cozy feeling, and the car engine's running, we've got the nice fan on, and I've not had a shower. I've just took my wet clothes off and gave myself a wee kind of dry down with a towel and just chucked on some dry clothes, and we're straight out the door to get a wee fucking sandwich and a bit of chocolate and everything, a wee cup of coffee from McDonald's. So we've got that nice warm cozy. I'm sitting here with a nice cozy feeling. I've done it, and I like the way I've done it this weekend, because I'm doing the longer ride tomorrow. It's only 40 miles today. Tomorrow we're doing 70, so I like that. We're sort of building up. Today was a kind of warm up for tomorrow. Today I wouldn't really say I enjoyed the ride that much. It was a bit kind of bleh. I didn't really feel like it, and it wasn't that. I was a bit, to be honest, I was quite irritable because of the lack of sleep, and I was just like, right, fucking do this. But I feel quite good, because I was like, I made the effort to do it, even though I didn't really enjoy it, and I felt a bit kind of wound up, and you know, I didn't even really have the motivation, but I did it anyway. So it's all about, if you've got a kind of semi-structured training program, it's all about keeping to the fucking routine, isn't it? Sticking to it. You get to the point, as I've said before, it's just like brushing your teeth, and then within that, once you get a bit of momentum going, and you've sort of built the pain cave, if you like, you know, you can then, as you get more confident and you feel better within yourself, and the mind's stronger and the body's stronger and it feels easier, then you can start to increase the size of the pain cave, can't you? And you put a few wee armchairs in, and then knock down the wall and build an extension, you know, and put a fire in, and with a bookcase with some books on it, you know, so you can then play and drift off even more and extend and build your focus, build the pain cave, and put some logs on the fire and get that fire going to the point where you're just where it's actually, as Terry from up the road said, where you start to love the pain, as one of my cycling jerseys says, love the pain, says on it. That's not a bad slogan, is it? We've got to remind ourselves, you know, and I think, again, you get to, it's kind of like a relationship. It's like a relationship, innit? Where you're not really quite suited or something. I'll learn to love you, that kind of thing. Well, it's kind of like that, as my mate Drew said. My mate Drew used to say back in the day, says, because when I said to him, oh, I can't really get into this, I can't really seem to get into this, and he said, you've just got to fall in love with it again, dude. And it was like, oh, boom! I said to him, those were glorious words. He kens some shit. Bit of a genius, that guy. He said that. He said, you've just got to fall in love with it again. And that was it. See, when someone says a simple, we need more simple truths in this life, I think. Sometimes it's just like some basic, you know, a slogan or a simple truth can just get you going, and he did. See, when he said that, he was a big catalyst to me getting back into this. So shout out to Drew, you know, he's gone off the face of the earth. But back then he gave me a kick at the backside just by saying that. You know, it's a team effort, innit? Like the coaches haven't necessarily been there, done it, but they know the shit. Just because they might not be physically, they might not be talented, naturally have the natural ability to do it, nevertheless they still know what's required. A lot of these coaches, you know, and I did say to Drew, I said, you were a bit like a coach when you said that. You got to fall in love with it again, you know. So that was quite good how he got me going back then. But now we're at the point where we want to catapult ourselves in a new way. And I was thinking earlier, there's no excuses now. There's no excuses if you want to do something. There's no excuses now. All the resources are available. I mean, how much information is there on the internet? I mean, back in the day, you wouldn't be able to go online and have a top class coach just basically in a half-hour YouTube video lay it all out to you, boom, just like that, and share the secrets. But that's the age we're in now. All the information's out there. I mean, the details of it might not be entirely. There might be a bit of debate between different people as to the efficacy of a certain training program versus another one. But basically, it's there. It's like, boom, that's what you need to do. But the big point is, it's whether you do it or not. It's easy saying it. I mean, I think a lot of times as amateur cyclists or top level amateurs or aspiring cyclists or whatever, right? Or anybody try to do anything, right? A lot of times folk are sitting there too invested in looking at all these different videos, trying to look for the answers, and that negates the whole you've actually got to fucking do it. You know, it's all very well looking at things and reading books and this and that, but you got to actually fucking do it. And at least I could look at myself in the mirror and go, well, I am Mr. Action Man. I'm so fucking disciplined and so passionate and focused and knowledgeable now, in a sense, as well. So really, there's no excuses. It's like, I ken what to do. I ken what it's all about stoking the fire, the discipline, the focus, the I know it's about building the pain cave, you know, and loving the pain and loving the improvement. We're going to love the improvement. That's what's going to help us. We're going to love the improvement, and the kind of little, the sort of the somewhat jaded Dave that was getting a bit tired of it because he's going, what am I doing this for? That's going to fade, because we're looking at 3.5 months of we're quite excited about 3.5 months of glorious potential to be able to implement all this shit to get better. And I might do these once a week just for myself, and then what I'll do is just fucking download the video, upload it to my YouTube channel, and if nobody watches it, I didn't give a flying fuck, because my YouTube channel is just my private, that's what I was trying to say earlier on. It's just like, I've just resigned myself to the fact that my YouTube channel is my own private gallery. Fuck the audience, as Michelangelo Batio said. Fuck the audience, I don't care. It's like, I'm putting this stuff out there. It's an aspiring whatever person trying to do better at gravel riding. If folk didn't want to come on board and be interested in that, fine, I didn't care. I'll do it, and I'll be under the radar, and these videos will serve as a beautiful training tool to help me be better, as what's-his-face Frank said. Gilhooly was talking about like immersing yourself in it. Well, do I look like I'm immersed in it? I've just talked for about fucking half an hour in a little bit of detail there. Do I look like I'm immersed in it? Do I look like I'm obsessed? Aye, a wee bit, aye. As I say, this is the year when we're going to go for it. So we've got to implement all the fucking shit that I've done and no fucking about, because I've had 6 years of being a kind of like amateur cyclist, doing loads of miles and going, oh wow, look at these, I get KOMs, and look at all these long rides I've done, and wow, that's all very well. But as American Flyers said in that scene in American Flyers, Muzzin goes, yeah, he's all right when it comes to training, but what's he like in the clutch? Well, that's what you're witness to now. What am I like in the clutch? Now is the time that we're trying to take everything that I've learned and put it to fucking work and fucking do it. Do a proper structured training program and actually fucking race properly, you know? As my brother said, oh, you're all talk. Yeah, I'm all talk. Fine. But talking's necessary to get it fucking out there. To positive affirmations. Not that I really even need to do positive. When I'm training, I train quite hard. I don't need to fucking talk. And that's kind of funny, isn't it? Like, somebody watching this doesn't fucking ken that I'm so immersed in the whole training thing anyway, right? They might look at this and go, oh, what a windbag. Listen to him blabbing on, without actually realising that I'm fucking doing it as well. As I said to the great Michelangelo Batio, you talk the talk and you walk the walk. How inspirational is that? Emulate the greats. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking and I'm going to walk the fucking walk. Ta!